Hello students, I am Irfan Raza. Welcome to my geography class. Today we will study the fourth chapter of class 10th geography, and the chapter name is agriculture. So first of all we will learn and discuss the meaning of agriculture. Agriculture is an art or science of cultivating the soil, harvesting of crops, and rearing and management of livestock. Livestock means animal. So in this way we find that agriculture is the combination of three activities. The first one is cultivating the soils, second one is harvesting of crops, and the third one is rearing and management of animals. So now let us start the chapter. India is known as agriculture country because its 2/3 of population depends on it. It means about 70% population depends on agriculture. Agriculture belongs to primary activity or primary sector which produces food grains that we use as food. Apart from that, it also produces raw materials for a number of agro-based industries like cotton, textile industries, jute industry, sugar mill, etc. Some of the agriculture products like tea, coffee, spices, etc. are also exported. That is the main source of foreign exchange. So this was an introduction of the chapter agriculture. Now let us move to the first topic. Our first topic is types of farming. As we know that agriculture is an activity which is in use since ancient time. In due course of time, cultivation methods have changed significantly on the basis of physical environment. Physical environment means land, air, water and other natural resources. Then technological know-how means the practical knowledge or skill of technology, and socio culture practices. So let us see what kind of farming is being practiced in different parts of India. The first one is primitive subsistence farming. Actually, in this type of farming, the farmers practice, or you can say select, a patch of land, or in another word I can say that this type of farming is practiced on a small patch of land, in which the farmers generally use primitive tools like hoe, dao and digging sticks. In Hindi, generally hoe means kudal, dao means khurpi, and digging sticks you can say phara. So these are where the or these are the traditional, or you can say ancient or primitive tools by which the farmers used to practice primitive subsistence farming. Basically, the farmer's family provides the work of laborers, and in this type of farmings generally farmers depend on the monsoon rain in order for irrigation purpose and the natural fertility of soils, because the farmers do not use any kind of uh, fertilizers. So that is why the land productivity of this type of farming is low, and generally it is consumed by farmers and his family. Primitive subsistence farming is also known as slash and burn agriculture. In this type of farming, farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their family. And when the soil fertility decreases, then the farmers shift from that place and move to another fresh patch of land. where he repeats the same processes. Here a question arises: why do the farmers practice this kind of methods? Actually, this type of shifting allows nature to replenish or reload the fertility of the soil. Through natural processes. Basically, the farmers do not use fertilizers or other modern inputs to grow crops. They are totally dependent on the natural fertility of the soil. That is why they leave the land after 3 to 4 years of agriculture. In this way, what happened? The abandoned land starts to regain its fertility in due course of time. So this farming is also known by different names in different parts of the countries. So what are those? Say here, zooming. Basically, slash and burn farming or shifting farming is also known as zooming, especially in northeastern states. And there are 4 northeastern states where slash and burn farming or shifting agriculture is known as zooming. So they are Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Nagaland. While it is known as Pamlo in Manipur and Deepa in Bastar districts of Chhattisgarh as well as Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So these are the other names of slash and burn farming or shifting cultivation. Zooming or slash and burn farming is further known by different names in different countries. So here you can get the name of different names which is mainly used in different countries. So I should move to the next topic. Now the second type of farming is intensive subsistence farming. This type of farming is mainly practiced in those areas or regions or countries where the cultivable land is limited and density of population is very high. Then the farmers apply modern inputs like higher doses of biochemical inputs, means high yielding variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, etc. in order to obtain higher yield. Due to right of inheritance, farmers now have small land holdings. In right of inheritance, children or even sometimes grandchildren have a right to claim and inherit property of their parent or grandparent after their death. And this is the reason that the agriculture field are becoming smaller and smaller. Our next, or we can say the next feature of intensive subsistence farming is it is a labor intensive farming. It means that it requires a large number of laborers to work on the field because more than one crop is grown in same field. So this was all about intensive subsistence farming. Now move to the next one. The next or the third type of farming is commercial farming. Commercial farming is mainly done to get maximum profit, or I can say that commercial farming is a type of farming in which the main intention or the purpose of farmer is to get more and more profit. That is why the farmers use higher doses of modern inputs like high yielding variety of seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides. Apart from that, the farmers also manage better irrigation facilities with the help of pump. Thereafter, in order to obtain higher productivity, the farmers usually use all these modern inputs. Here we have to learn that commercial farming or especially commercial crops vary from one place to another place. As here you can see that one example is given. Rice is a commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab, while it is a subsistence crop in Orissa. It means that the farmers of Orissa grow rice for their own consumption or its family members consumption. It means they don't have any intention of selling rice in the market, while the farmers of Punjab and Haryana, they mainly grow rice for selling in the market to earn more profit. So this was all about commercial farming. Now let us talk about the next one. The next farming is plantation. So what is this? So this is also a type of commercial farming. In plantation, what happens? A single crop is grown on a large area. It covers large tracts of land, and a number of migrant laborers are required to work on plantation. Here you see one important line is written: the plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. It means there is an interdependence of agriculture with industry, because all the produce is used as a raw material in respective industries. Here we see the example of plantation crops like tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana, etc. These are the example of plantation crops, and there are some areas where these plantation or these kind of farming is practiced on a large scale. It is Assam and West North Bengal, where tea is mainly grown and coffee is mainly grown in Karnataka. So this was all about plantation, and in this way we completed the types of farming. So now let us move to the next topic. Our next topic is cropping pattern. Cropping pattern, or it can be also termed as cropping season. So there are three cropping season in India. The first one is Rabi, second one is Kharif, and the third one is Zaid. Here you see Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. These three cropping seasons are mainly found in India, in which different or various types of food and fiber crops, vegetables, fruits and spices are grown. So let us talk about all these cropping season one by one. The first one is Rabi crops, or I can say that Rabi season. So we can easily learn cropping season with the help of three serve points. So what is the first serve point? The first serve point is time and duration. So here you have to learn that Rabi crops are generally grown or sown in winter season from October to December. That this is the timing when the seeds are sown, and thereafter the crops are harvested in summer from April to June. Now the second point or second sub point for Rabi crops, you can make crops. The main crops, okay, are grown, or some important crops which are grown during Rabi season are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. Here once again you can note it down. Some important Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. So this was second sub point. So what is the third sub point? So the third sub point is area. It means that we have to also find out that in which area mainly Rabi crops are grown. So here you have to know that Rabi crops are mainly grown in north and north western parts of India like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, UP. So these are some important states where Rabi crops are grown. So students, you all have to just focus on these 3 points, and with the help of these 3 points you can easily define or describe Rabi crops. So now let us see the next one. The next one is Kharif crops. So here once again we will have the same point. First sub point for Kharif crops is time and duration. So Kharif crops are grown with the onset of monsoon. Onset of monsoon means arrival of monsoon. So what is the timing of arrival of monsoon? So it is June. So basically we can say that Kharif crops are grown or its seeds are sown during June and July, while the crops are harvested in September and October. It's mean from September to October. This is the timing when the crops are harvested. So once again here we can find the second sub point, crops. So which are the major or important crops of Kharif? So here you see paddy, which means rice. Thereafter maize, jowar, bajra, tur or arhar. Then moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnuts. So these are, and thereafter soya bean also. So these are some important Kharif crops. Now the third sub point, as I mentioned, that is area. So when we talk about the area where Kharif crops are grown, so mainly it is grown in the eastern coastal area, western coastal area. So these are the main, you can say, places. Apart from western and eastern coastal area, there are some states like you see Assam, West Bengal, then Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra and Konkan coast, that means the coast of Karnataka, sorry, Maharashtra. So these are the states where Kharif crops are generally grown. After that, so in this way we have got again three sub point. The first one was time and duration, the second was crops, and third one area. Now talk about the last one, that is Zad crops or Zad season. So here again you can apply the same point, means time and duration will be the first sub point. So Zaid crops are grown in short duration between the Rabi and Kharif season. It means from March to June Zaid crops are grown. So here you can understand that March is the time, March is the month in which the seeds are sown, and June is the time when the crops are harvested. Now the second point, here you can find which are the main crops. So the name of crops are already given here. So let us see which are the crops mainly grown during Zad. Here it is: watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops. So in this way we find fodder crops, you can understand that it is dried hay for cattle. So these are the important crops grown during Zaid season. Now finally the area. So area is not mentioned over here, but students, you can understand the area of Zaid crops. Zaid crops are grown in the irrigated part of the country like Punjab, Haryana, UP, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, or in other words I can say that Zaid crops are grown in North as well as South Indian states. So in this way we have completed the topic cropping pattern or cropping season. Our next topic is major crops that we will discuss in our next video. Thank you for watching my video. All the viewers are welcome to share their feedbacks, comments and suggestion in the comment box. Once again, thank you for watching my video.